What's going on, guys? This is Ed Reviews here, solo. It's just me tonight. Junior consultant Mike Adams is over at school, but I wanted to get my final thoughts on the TV show Gotham on Fox. I just finished up the final 2 episodes of the final 5th season, and I wanted to talk about it. I'm really excited to talk about it. I was trying to just record one of my quick thoughts for the Instagram, but I was having a really hard time keeping it down to 1 minute videos. So I thought I would just do a voice memo, easily consumable, going to be like one of our podcasts, but nowhere near as long. And it's just me, so this might be a rambling mess because I'm just kind of talking into the microphone. But I thought I'd give it a try. So, Gotham. The last 2 episodes of the show were season 5 episode 11, which was called They Did What, and then the season and series finale, season 5 episode 12, which was entitled The Beginning ... Now, They Did What, which was the episode before the finale, as I mentioned, feels like that should have been the finale to Gotham. This probably is strange to say, but that felt more like the natural end to this series. If you're not in the know, Gotham eventually became essentially a long-form story of the origin of Batman. It was everything we see in the beginning of like the Nolan films, what Snyder tried to kind of do in Batman vs. Superman. It's his origin, but told as a long-form TV show that actually started... When that show started, I remember it being almost... It was marketed as a cop show just in the universe of Gotham before Batman is there. You follow James Gordon and Harvey Bullock, and Bruce is just a character. But in the end, it's his story, and it's him becoming Batman. With that in mind, it's kind of obvious once the show became Bruce's story, how that show was going to end. Because another DC property did essentially the same thing. I never watched the original show Smallville, but I know my sister watched it, and they did essentially the same thing that Gotham did. They did it first, obviously, where you follow from the hero, and in this case it was Bruce, in that show it was obviously Clark Kent, as a boy growing up, and then it ends with the hero wearing the suit. It ends with where most of these narratives begin. So, with that in mind, season 5, episode 11, They Did What, was... Honestly, even before I watched the season finale, I was saying to myself, this was where this should have ended. Why are you doing one more episode? Season 5, episode 11 was, to me, where that show needed to end, should have ended. They wrap up the arcs from the 5th season, and Bruce, as he does in this origin story, leaves the city to go train to be Batman. And it didn't feel like it would... If it ended there, it wouldn't have been open-ended, because if you're familiar with Batman, you know, oh, he's going off to be Batman, and he'll be back later to become Batman. But it just felt more natural, because what the series and season finale, season 5, episode 12, The Beginning, does is it flashes forward 10 years into the future. Bruce Wayne is returning home to Gotham for the first time in 10 years. And he's Batman now. Yeah, he's came up with the persona. He's going to start doing his vigilante work. And it's cool to see certain aspects of it. Like, take for example, you see for a very brief moment, they put the mustache on James Gordon, who, if you're familiar with the comic books, always has a mustache. And they're like, yeah, we should probably do this. But then they shave the mustache off. And that I was like, what? Really? And then they put most of the characters in their traditional costumes, if you will. Penguin puts the monocle on for the first time, the top hat, he's got the purple jacket with his suit. Riddler has the question mark suit. And those two in particular, I turned to my mother and I had been watching the show pretty much since the beginning. And I turned to her and I said, are we watching the goddamn 60s show? Because it looks like it's the 60s show. Like these costumes are clearly modeled off of the 60s TV show. And it just kind of felt dumb to me. And then they have Cameron Bykovin, I think his name. I probably butchered his name. But the gentleman who is also, I think remember the other shows down. But the gentleman who has been playing their interpretation of Joker from the beginning, they have him finally becoming Joker. They reveal his horribly scarred face after the Ace Chemicals incident. And they go all out for that. They really do. I liked that a lot. They made him goddamn terrifying. Which is really cool in some respects. But, on the other hand, and they also kill, for some reason, this show's interpretation of Harley Quinn, whose character name is Echo, and she's played by Francesca Ruth Dodson, who I only just heard of because of the show, but she was doing a phenomenal job, and they shoot her at the end of this, which is weird. But what they're clearly trying to do with this is they were trying to say, here, you watch this journey, you clearly want to see these characters as they're in their final form. So we're going to give it to you. But the way that without giving away the plot of this episode, the way that this episode in particular left everything, it really made it feel as if there's another show coming, that they're going to do Batman with this same cast, which to my knowledge is not the case. So it feels just kind of like I want to see more of David Mazouz as Batman. He's brilliant. I want to see more of this cast. I want to see more of Cameron, of the guy playing Joker. I want these things. But you're kind of saying, here, we're going to give you a taste at the end, and then that's it. That's it. Unless DC decides to do more of this, which I wouldn't be opposed to, but don't call it the series finale then, if that's what you're going to do. Hey guys, this is Future Eddie. I recorded what you just heard on Friday. What was the date? Hang on one second. Hang on. Friday oh crap, I don't know what day it was. Hang on, let me look at my calendar. Oh, this is embarrassing. Oh god. It was Friday the 26th, the day after the Gotham series finale premiered. And I haven't started editing this yet. I'm about to upload everything and work on it on my computer. And I realized I never really gave my final thoughts on Gotham as a whole. I kind of just gave my thoughts on the final two episodes. So just, I was talking to a couple friends about the end of Gotham since I recorded this. And all in all, I have to say, if you're a Batman fan, I would recommend the show as a whole. I think there are some weaker seasons. I think there are some weaker plot threads. Take, for example, in the final season, they give us Bane, and they got him completely wrong. They did him very wrong. But it's a different interpretation, and I think there's a lot of interesting things this interpretation does. I like their Jim Gordon. I love David Mazouz, I believe his name is, as Bruce Wayne. And there's enough very cool, very interesting things over the course of the 5 seasons that it's definitely worth a watch. Sorry that I didn't do this in the actual video. I think I was more concerned about the last 2 episodes at that point. But yeah, this is turning out to be a big rambly mess. I'm hoping that the me that's editing this is able to make it sound good. So thanks. Take it away, me from the past, even though this is also technically me in the past. Time travel. Ooh. Hopefully that rant made cohesive sense. I'm going to edit this myself. Producer Amanda is not editing this. I'll be editing it. And I hope I made a cohesive point here. This was something new. If you listen all the way through, leave in the comment section whether or not you like this format, whether or not I should do more solo pods without junior consultant Mike Adams. Although this wasn't really a podcast, this was more of a ramble. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Just some housekeeping before I get going. One, if you don't follow the socials, we are still technically on hiatus. I'm kind of breaking the hiatus by doing this. But again, I'm, other than Amanda, making the graphic that you see as you're listening to this. I am editing this myself. I have a few free minutes to throw this together. These audio files are much easier to produce than one of our videos. But we are still on hiatus. Mike, Amanda, and myself are all finishing our semesters, and we've agreed to kind of extend the hiatus to the end of our semesters. But when we come back, we have a lot in store. And yeah, thank you so much for your patience. I promise we'll be back soon, and I will see you guys later. Thanks again for listening. Have a nice evening, day, or whenever you're listening.